Plug in some attitude with Sound Toys.
Good morning, Chris.
Good morning, Nick.
Nice to see you here at another sunny day at Superbooth. Expressive E, going great guns. Of course, we've got the Osmos and all the goodies and the Touche.
Yes.
But we're also looking at, you've got Noisy 2, which is a brand new release, right?
That's right. Just came out like 2-3 weeks ago, Noisy 2. Obviously, something that comes right after Noisy 1, a new software synth. Still based on using noise as a source signal and then going into resonators. If we have a look at the screen for a moment, it's a Bi-Timbral synth, meaning you always have like two layers that work at the same time. And then there are lots of presets for you ready to use, of course. 700 of them in the MPE mode, which is already one of the main new features. So we finally have MPE support in one of our own MPE synthesizers,
come
being
on,
an MPE manufacturer.
Yeah. Sorry for the light. It's very challenging getting the exposure right here, but that's all right. We'll keep going. We'll battle on. So I heard some sounds a little bit earlier. So what kind of thing are we talking about? I mean, obviously it's going to play very nicely with Osmos. So
it's going to play really nicely with any MPE controller, but since we've got so much real key travel on the Osmos, we have a whole new level of integration when it comes to a software synth, when it comes to the gestures and the interactions you can have. I think I'm going to start with showing you some sounds, shall we? So let's go on with something like a soundscape pad. So
lovely.
The way the signal flows in Noisy is, if I may show you on the screen here, you have the noise generator, which is then sent to the resonators, which make an actual tuned sound out of it with a pitch, then mixed, then it goes to the filter, then it goes to an output section. And just with this lovely sound, you have a kind of grainy quality to it, or a noisy quality, because the sound source is white noise at the moment, but I'm gonna just flip through a few noise types, which I think is interesting to hear the difference that it makes. So you have a blue noise, which is kind of more dark. When I'm using the grains, you have these little sandy artifacts, this grainy quality to it. And we also did a bunch of field recordings that you can check out just to have a different color to the sound. Then when it comes to the resonators, I'm comparing it with Noisy 1 right now. We have a new pulse width modulation resonator on the analog modeling side, so to say. So let me check that out. Just give you a basic pad sound, which is only using one layer. And you see in the matrix of the virtual analog PWM how the pulse width is modulated.
So is the noise like a classic excitement, or is it like a burst, or is it a constant? The noise, is it, so does it go pip, or does it just...
That leads us over to an important point, actually. The thing we're actually most proud of, besides all the new functionality like new noise types, new resonators, new filters, is the fact that we've spent lots of thought about how we shall integrate let's go with this one, how we integrate the expression control with a synthesizer. So what we have here is the expression control block that lets us combine continuous control that we have on MPE controllers. Just like that, with the pressure, with the aftertouch, with just MPE timbre or CC74 on other controllers. So we have this continuous control, and then we can introduce envelope directly from the same modulation source. So just gonna disable for a sec the continuous control, and you're gonna see that we have a basic envelope generator. Right now it's working very traditionally.
Right,
I just
so
have to
that's the excitement
trigger
kind of,
the excitement, yeah. But you can also use it with continuous control. But the cool thing is that unlike traditional MIDI controllers, we take advantage of the fact that we know where the key is at every given moment. So with the new dynamic trigger modes, dynamic push, lift and shake, we can trigger the envelope not necessarily at the end of the key travel, but even if I already press the key, when I'm accelerating the key beyond a certain threshold, it's gonna give me envelope depending on how fast I go. So it's much more dynamic and much more sensitive than a regular MIDI controller. And if I do this for the upwards movement with dynamic lift, you're gonna see if I'm playing here. It's gonna trigger lift, but if I let go very slowly, it's not gonna trigger the envelope.
Oh, it's interesting.
And this can be combined, and it's a first for a software synthesizer for both upwards and downwards movements. And so I can use the gesture that we call shake, which was formerly only available in the internal engine.
So it brings it more into the kind of each key is its own envelope generator and takes it even further.
Exactly. And then still it's not a separate thing to the continuous control, but it's something that you can combine because you've got the two sliders here. If I wanted to introduce some more continuous control to the sound, we are still able to do the shake movement, but when we hold the keys, we're still able to have continuous control all the time.
Wow, that's really expressive, isn't it? That's lovely. Very nice.
So this allows you to integrate the envelope, a classic envelope approach, however taken to another level through the dynamic triggering together with the continuous control, which is the main advantage. It's really very nice and easy to control. So you have the knob here for the continuous control, it's in the upper right there, where you can set the balance between what you want to use for the continuous control. Do you want to use more like the channel pressure in MPE, or do you want to use more the aftertouch? So if I were to discover, oh, this preset plays nicely, but I want the sound to be more open. If I just use the pressure, I'm gonna just change the balance, so pressure takes over most of the modulation source, or vice versa. And the important thing to understand is because there's one block here on the layer 1, and there's another block on layer 2, and there's two other blocks like this in the effects page.
Oh wow!
You can really build a sound in the sense that, let's say, the first layer is only going to be triggered with the pressure, but with a little bit of envelope at lifting the key. The second layer is going to be concentrated on the aftertouch, so you have like a strict distinction, I say that, strict separation between those. But most of the time when you're playing, when you're having a look at the 700 MPE presets that are built into there, it's always like a combination of both, where, or not in this case obviously, where we dialed in the sensitivity. But the cool thing is you really, unlike, as we have to admit, in the Egan matrix, where you have to program to change what the gestures do, you have it right at your fingertips, so you can very quickly adapt the sound. You could also say, I have this sound here, we have this bass sound, I would love to have some, I don't know, chorus going on when I press into the aftertouch. So I just take an expression control FX block here, dial it to aftertouch, fully %, no envelope at all. I activate the chorus, I choose. I want to be modulating it with the first expression block here, and I just increase the modulation. I'm going to make it very extreme. So when I'm now pushing into the aftertouch, you have the immediate satisfaction of being able to assign your MPE modulations.
Okay, I'm gonna throw this out there because I'm sure everybody's going, will this? So, do you think it's ever possible that you could have noisy inside a keyboard like Osmos?
Theoretically,
because then you would have.
I mean, it's
a very different flavour of synthesis, but built in with the control. Okay, I'm just going to leave that there for people to think about.
It's an exciting idea. Then again, the kind of filter banks of physical modeling or excitement of noise, it's kind of heavy on CPU. So for the moment, we're happy that we have computers.
Yes, well, that's true. I totally get that.
But the main idea generally is just to expand on the ecosystem of the Osmos, so that people who have an Osmos, also other MPE controllers, have more sorts of types of sounds and flavors to play with, and also have something that's very quickly adaptable to their own needs.
With the Osmos, for instance, you just connect this up, and it would just. Is this standalone mode, or are you running this in a host?
There's no standalone version. It's VST2, VST3, and AU. We just use it in Ableton here. All you have to do on the the Osmos is using the MPE configuration and MIDI port number 1, USB MIDI port number 1, and you're good to go. If you don't forget to activate the MPE mode in Ableton Live or whatever DAW you're using, because that's something that happens rather often.
Wow, nice. This is sounding good as well.
Well, I can show you some sounds, perhaps just to conclude, so to say.
Yeah. Okay. Great. Before you do that,
yes.
How is this available now, and how much is it?
It is available now. There's still intro pricing of $89.40.
Wow. Okay.
If you already own Noisy One, it's going to be an update pricing of $39. You would have just to log into your user account and Expressive.
I mean, if you own an Osmos or similarly equipped Expressive input device, it sounds like a no-brainer, to be honest, but yeah.
That's you saying it, yeah, but no, we really think we're adding something when it comes to the easy interaction, changing, and gestural sound design. We really make sound design in MPE world more fun and less complicated and more straightforward.
Yeah,
that's what we offer
I'm
here
into that.
with a great sounding engine.
Okay, well, let's have a few more sounds to play out then.
Yes.
That reminds me of a film soundtrack. I'm trying to think which one it is, but I can't remember.
I don't know. I'm so creative. I came up right on the spot with it. And perhaps something that makes use of the new type of acoustic resonators we have here. Again, really sensitive to the touch.
Beautiful.
And something more on the analog modeling side. That sounds great, like creme. Let's see if it's creamy.
Chris, thank you so much.
That was Noisy 2, a hybrid between analog modeling, physical modeling, noise excites resonators with a great MPE integration.
Thank you very much.